Hi, my name is Diasiss, formerly known as Brother Minnick, and I wanted to talk to you guys this morning about something very important to me, and I think important to a lot of us ex-JWs who have been disfellowshipped and shunned. I was disfellowshipped in 2014 and have not been able to talk to a lot of friends and family. They've completely cut me out of their life as if I don't exist. And that's why I want to talk about this proposal. I'm not even sure if what I am proposing can be done. But this is my proposal. And this is for ex-JWs watching this who have any kind of legal power. And this is also for anyone watching this who has any legal power, who cares about this cause. I'd like to propose a class action lawsuit for the Jehovah's Witness policy of disfellowshipping, or more importantly, shunning. I was actually talking to Winston, who runs Watchtower Examination, and he has a really good show, actually. I really like his work. I'm a big fan of him. So Winston, if you're watching this, love your work. He said that there is a difference between disfellowshipping and shunning. And you know, I'm kind of in the middle on that. That can go both ways with me. I think that there, reasonable grounds for excommunication, or maybe somebody who is not living within the proper protocol of a Jehovah's Witness can be removed from being a Jehovah's Witness, but that doesn't mean that you have to shun them. And this is the problem that me and a lot of ex-witnesses have. Shunning, where they completely cut you out of their life, where you could have your daughter calling you on the side of the road, maybe bleeding or dying, or on her deathbed, and you are encouraged by the society or by the governing body of Jehovah's Witnesses to not even answer their calls or their emails or text. And this is actually not an exaggeration. They had a convention a few years ago where it showed the daughter calling her mother, and the mother swiped it. And that's what they were encouraged to do at that convention regarding their children who are disfellowshipped. They were encouraged to shun them. And so, I don't even know if this is possible, but to anyone out there who has any legal power, or who knows anyone who has any legal power, to any courts out there that are watching this, here's my proposal. Here's my idea. We need to put together a class action lawsuit. We need to come together and see this through. Because shunning kills. It kills. How many of us are going to have to die and commit suicide? How many of us are going to have to go crazy before Watchtower and the public and the legal system finally realizes how destructive and how wrong this really is? So, I'd like to talk about how we might be able to make it happen. Well, it's talked about generally in meetings and in Watchtower literature about how we can be shunned if we are not living in a way that adheres to the Bible, or better yet, adheres to Watchtower doctrine or principles. Because they can disfellowship you even on grounds that aren't scriptural. For instance, I talked to somebody recently who said that they have a brother who was about to get disfellowshipped simply for openly disagreeing with Watchtower's policies. He simply disagreed and was vocal about that, said he did research about how these things are not doctrinal or not biblical, and they were about to disfellowship him just for that, until he said, well, then I might have to take legal action. So, I don't know the details of that particular story directly, but these are the kind of things that we hear growing up as a witness. So, here's how I'm wondering if we can make it happen. Here's how I'm hoping we can make it happen. Discrimination. Can we, and is this possible at all to anyone that's part of the legal system, can we put a class action lawsuit together against the governing body and Watchtower Society of Jehovah's Witnesses for shunning? Because when they shun you, they completely disassociate you. Now that's discrimination. You can walk into a Kingdom Hall, no joke. I can walk into a Kingdom Hall right now, and they start inquiring about me, and I tell them, well, I'm disfellowshipped, and they would literally stop talking to me, period, point blank. And that's discrimination. And yeah, they tell you that. They tell you in Watchtower literature, you can get disfellowshipped, yada, yada, yada. But they do have a secret elders book that is not available to the public, where they talk about the procedures of how you can get disfellowshipped. And, you know, the details of that are not available to us rank and file witnesses. That is not available to the public. So, my question is, can it be done? What's it going to take? What's it going to take? How many more ex-witnesses are going to kill themselves from depression and fall into destructive lifestyles? How many more families are going to be ripped apart? And how many more of these vigilantes are going to try to take things and take this pain into their own hands? Because there is no law that protects them from being shunned in a very discriminatory way. We're talking about families here. We're talking about, as the video pointed out in that convention, daughters, children who may be in need, who are being shunned and completely neglected, even in states of emergency, by their parents who are afraid of being shunned and neglected by Watchtower themselves. It's a very, very important thing, and I think something needs to be done about it. And so, this is my proposal. This is something that I think is very important, and this is something very, very dear to me. Because it's heartbreaking to watch people fall into destructive lifestyles because they have no one to talk to and nowhere to go when they're suddenly cut off from the only thing that they know. And that's why I think that the song I was playing was so fitting too. That song that I played at the beginning was called Future. And in it, she says, we are the future. We are the ones demanding change. And there is no one to bring us down. And basically she's saying that we need to come together. We are the future.